Welcome back to lesson number 2 of chapter 20, where we discuss problems with comparisons. And yet again, this is an extremely important lesson because it teaches us how to avoid such incorrect comparisons and how to fix them if we spot any that are incorrect. So at the end of this lesson, we will have the skill to identify common mistakes in comparisons and to understand how to correct those mistakes, making a proper sentence. So we have 3 different types of comparisons that are incorrect. The first one is double comparison, the second one is illogical comparison, and the third one, comparisons of members of a group to themselves. We're going to start with the first type, which is double comparison. Double comparison is when I use both form of comparative and superlative degrees in one sentence, which creates confusion and creates an incorrect statement. So do not use ER and more in the same sentence, and do not use EST and most in the same sentence. Otherwise, you'll be committing a double comparison. For example, that snake is more longer than this one. Now, longer is already the comparative form of long. I have ER, it shows which one is longer than the other. Adding more creates a double comparison, which is incorrect. So the correct sentence would be, that snake is longer than this one. Same thing for the superlative degree. This is the most loudest parrot. Again, loudest is the superlative form of loud with EST added to the word. So adding most will create a double comparison, which creates an incorrect sentence. So the correct form would be, this is the loudest parrot. So again, double comparisons are a common mistake that people, maybe while writing, they do not pay attention to. So now it's easily spotted. Never add ER and more or EST and most in the same sentence, because this will create a double comparison, which makes it an incorrect statement. Now we move to the second type of incorrect comparisons, which is the illogical comparison, where usually when we're comparing two similar things and saying how one is better than the other or how one is the best of all. And keep in mind, they should be similar things. So when I'm comparing two different things, this creates an illogical comparison. So, for example, a dachshund's legs are shorter than most other dogs. If I read the statement, I understand that I'm comparing legs to dogs, which is illogical, makes no sense. How can I fix it? There are 3 different ways to fix illogical comparisons. I can either add the missing word, which is legs in this case. A dachshund's legs are shorter than most other dogs' legs. Or I can add an apostrophe, making it a possessive form. So a dachshund's legs are shorter than most other dogs, apostrophe. Or I can add a demonstrative pronoun, which makes the sentence logically correct. A dachshund's legs are shorter than those of other dogs. So illogical comparison is when I'm comparing two different things, and in order to fix that, I have 3 different ways. So to avoid illogical comparison, avoid comparing two different things. Again, fix it by either adding the missing word being compared, or adding the possessive, or adding a demonstrative pronoun. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with demonstrative pronouns, although you should already know them, they are these, those, this, and that. So again, according to the sentence, which fits, you go for. So this is the second type of incorrect comparison. Now we move to the third type, which is confusing the comparison by, instead of comparing a member of a group to the group itself, you're comparing the member or the members of a group to themselves, which is an incorrect comparison. To elaborate, you can add other or else to fix this problem. So I'm going to read an incorrect sentence. In today's show, Greased Lightning has won more awards than any horse. Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar with horses, Greased Lightning is a horse. When I say in today's show, Greased Lightning has won more awards than any horse, this means I'm comparing Greased Lightning to itself, because Greased Lightning is a horse as well. So it's like saying, in today's show, Greased Lightning has won more awards than any Greased Lightnings, which makes no sense. The horse is being compared to itself since it's a horse as well. In order to correct this, I can easily say or insert other horse. Then I made completely two different groups where Greased Lightning sits in group 1 and other horses are sitting in group 2. So now we have separated the two things being compared, and Greased Lightning is no longer being compared to itself, it's being compared to the other horses that did not win that many awards, as many as Greased Lightning. So again, this part of incorrect comparisons focuses on comparing members of a group to themselves. And in order to avoid that, I have to insert either other or else. Sentence number 2. The pet store manager, Mandy, knows more about fish than anyone in the store. Now, Mandy is a pet store manager, and she is in the store. So she knows more about fish than anyone in the store means then she knows more about fish than herself. So I'm comparing Mandy to herself, creating a confusion, which is incorrect. In order to correct this sentence, I insert else. So now I form two different groups. Mandy is in one group and everyone else is in another group, and I'm saying that she knows more about fish. Okay. So if I want to add a little note, the third type of comparison is when I'm comparing. So avoid comparing members of a group to themselves by inserting other and else. Otherwise, the sentence would be incorrect. Okay. So those are the three different types of incorrect comparison. Let's practice so far what we've been studying. If I say Max's nose is longer than Michael, this is an incorrect sentence because obviously I'm comparing the nose to Michael, so two different things are being compared, which is the second incorrect comparison, which is the illogical comparison. So this is illogical comparison. And how do I fix that? I can either add Michael's nose, or I can either add Michael's, or I can either add that of Michael. So this was an example of an illogical comparison where one thing was compared to a completely different thing, so the word was missing. So I either add the word, which is nose in this case, or I either add the possessive form, which is apostrophe s, or I either add a demonstrative pronoun. In this case we used that. Okay, another example. That robot short circuits more frequently than any mechanical device. Now, what is this? I'm comparing the robot, which is a mechanical device, to itself. So this is using other or e or else in comparison, which is incorrect because I don't have either, neither other nor else, so I need to correct this. That robot short circuits more frequently than any other mechanical device. If I don't add other, the sentence would mean that that mechanical device short circuits more frequently than any mechanical device. So since it's a mechanical device, it's like I'm comparing it to itself. So it short circuits more than itself, which makes no sense. Okay, so this was using OE, which is else or other. And if I say which one is more longer, a yard or a meter, the sentence, as you can see, is also incorrect because I used the double comparison. I introduced more as well as longer, and longer is in this case the comparative form of long, which is incorrect. So omit more. So the sentence would be correct. Okay, so these are three different examples on the three different incorrect comparisons that we might encounter. So practice your skills. We're going to use the abbreviations DC for double comparison, IC for illogical comparison, and OE for needing other or else in comparison to solve the following practice your skills. Let's start with sentence number 1. Fifi jumps higher and farther than any dog in the show. Now, since Fifi is a dog in the show as well, it's like I'm comparing Fifi to itself, since it's a dog in a dog show. So you cannot say Fifi jumps higher than herself or itself, so I'm going to be needing OE. Number 2. A properly fed animal will perform better than one indulged with unhealthy snacks. Now, you can notice that I see a double comparison. More better is wrong, since better is the comparative form of good. So it is DC. Number 3. Nathan has more pets than anyone on the obedience school staff. Now, since Nathan is on the obedience school staff, it's like saying Nathan has more pets than himself. So that's wrong. It's going to be needing other or else. Though not the prettiest canines, pit bulls are perhaps more popular watchdogs than any dog. Same thing here. Pit bulls are dogs. They cannot be more popular than themselves. So I'm going to be needing other or else. Number 5, I think a rabbit's fur is more softer than even a cat's fur. So softer is already the comparative form of soft. So having more makes it a double comparison. Number 6, the beauty of this stray mutt is greater than the pure bird Great Dane. What do you think is wrong with this sentence? It's illogical. I'm comparing the beauty to a Great Dane. Great Dane's beauty. So the word is missing. Or I can either add the possessive form or I can add than that of a Great Dane. So here it's I see illogical comparison because two different things are being compared. Number 7, Andrew is fairer than any other judge on the regional cat show panel. So I don't see anything wrong with this sentence. This makes it correct. Number 8, the African elephant probably has larger eyes than any animal in the world. Now, elephants are animals, so if I'm comparing elephants to themselves, this makes no sense, so I'm going to be needing OE. Number 9, this dog walker or this dog walkers club is the most wonderful idea of the summer. So, most wonderful, completely correct. So this sentence is also correct. Number 10, Chu is kinder to animals than anyone in his family. It's like saying Chu is kinder than himself, which is completely wrong. So I'm going to be needing either other or else. This is the first practice. Let's move on to the second, which is a mixed practice. Now, connect to writing here, they're asking you to write the incorrect sentences above and correct them. So if I say this needs other or else, it would be Chu is kinder to animals than anyone else in his family. So it's a good practice for you to go back and try to fix these sentences and see if you can change them from incorrect to correct. Now, checkpoint, mixed practice, write each sentence correcting the mistakes in comparisons. If a sentence is correct, just write correct. So they're asking us to write the whole sentence. Let's start with question number 1. Primary colors like blue and red are more purer than secondary colors like purple and orange. Now, saying purer is already the comparative form or degree of pure, so adding more purer is wrong. The sentence should be primary colors like blue and red are purer than secondary till the end. Number 2, yellow and green can be seen more readily by the human eye than any colors. Now, considering or knowing that yellow and green are colors as well, so you cannot say yellow and green can be seen more than yellow and green, or colors can be seen more than colors. It makes no sense. So it's an OE. I need to add other in this case. So yellow and green can be seen more readily by the human eye than any other color. Number 3, isn't hot pink much more brighter than pastel pink? And what's the problem here? Exactly, we have a double comparison. You cannot say much more brighter. You have to stick with brighter and omit more. So isn't hot pink much brighter than till the end. 4, these greens and yellows are more cheerful than black and silver. So I'm comparing green and yellow to black and silver, and I'm saying they're more cheerful, so this sentence is correct. The the final one, number 5, yellow, red, and orange hues are the most brightest colors of all. Again, a double comparison. I need to omit most, so it's going to be yellow, red, and orange hues are the brightest, blah blah blah. Okay, so this is the lesson. I hope it was clear. We covered 3 different types of incorrect comparisons: the double comparisons, the illogical comparisons, and the comparing members of the group to themselves. And we studied how can we avoid such comparisons and how can we fix such comparisons if encountered.